Hi guys, in this video I will show you how to draw 3 examples of furniture that you can use when drawing a floor plan. A shower plate, a toilet and a wash basin. During the video I will use several commands and I will try to explain every step with detail. Let's start. So, I'm going to start with this shower plate and the first thing I'm going to draw is the external border. I'm going to type REC to activate the command rectangle. Now I click for entering the first point, and then I have to specify the coordinates of the opposite corner. First, I type the distance in the x-axis, which is 900 millimeters. Then I press Tab, and finally I type for the y-axis, which is again 900 because this is a square. Next step, I'm going to draw the 2 concentric squares I show you here. And for that, I will use the command offset. I am going to type O to activate the command offset. Then I have to specify the offset distance, which it is 20. Now I press enter. I click in the first rectangle and then click inside of it. Then it remains another polyline. Remember that rectangles are still considered polylines. So I will click in the last object that I created. And because my offset distance now is 50, I will type 50 and press enter. Now you can notice that the corners here are rounded. So to do it, I will activate the command fillet. The icon is over there. Then if you look to the command bar, you can see this option here that says polyline. You type P and press enter to activate it. And by doing that, it will round all the edges of a polyline. But it's important to specify the radius of the arcs. So I type R for radius. At this moment it was specified as 70 millimeters. And I'm going to type 50 to change it. And finally, I have to click in the polyline to round the corners. So I just need to keep drawing, and here you can use a bit of freestyle, because what you draw inside the objects doesn't matter a lot when you are drawing furniture. Now we will continue with this circle at the left bottom corner. Its center is located at 80 millimeters from the sides, and if I use the grid to help me, where the edges of each small square measure 10, I can know that it's this point. Then, as the radius of the circle is 50, I can click now. Then the lines, this is just decoration. I will type L to activate the command line. The first point, I can place it again as 80 millimeters from the side. And then I will type 500 to be with this measure. Now I type escape. For drawing the horizontal line, I will be using a simple technique with the command rotate. I select the line, press enter. Now, as I want to rotate it around the center of the circle, I will click there. And then, because I want to keep the original line, I will type C for copy. And I am going to place it here. I click, and that's it. For the diagonal line, I activate the command line again. Just click wherever you want, it's freestyle. I click for example here. But now I am going to show you how to create a 45-degree line very easily. Go to the polar mode icon, click with the right button, and you can tick here which angles you want to track. I choose this option to track also the 45 degrees. Then I return to the drawing. And here you can see that the 45 degrees is now tracked with the green line appearing here. I'm going to click anywhere along the line and I can press escape. Finally, I also draw a detail inside the circle, which is the drain. You can see it here in the final drawing. I'm going to activate the command circle. Click on the center of the first circle, and for this one I will draw it smaller, for example with radius 20. And I click. Then for the lines inside, I activate command line, click in the center, and the first line I will draw it with 45 degrees. Also, you may notice that I am in a very high zoom and it's getting hard to move the pointer. When this happens, I can switch off the snap mode for a moment by clicking here, so it's much easier to move around, and I can click in this O snap point for the intersection with the circle. Next, I will use the command line again and do the same but for the other side. To draw the same lines down, I can use this time the command mirror. I select the lines, press enter. I select the center and I draw a horizontal mirror line to place them below. After clicking, I press enter. On the next part, I'm going to show you how to draw this toilet here with all the steps. Okay, the first thing I'm going to draw is this part, and I will use the command ellipse. To draw an ellipse, I will click in the arrow next to the command ellipse, and for this case, I will use the option here that says center. I click to insert the center of the ellipse, and then I have to insert these distances here. I will start with the horizontal one, which is 350. I press enter, and then the vertical one, which is 200. So you can see it. After, I will draw this part at the back of the toilet. I can use the command rectangle, and after I can apply fillet there. So, I will type REC, press enter. Then I'm going to one of these extremities, but it would be better to have these points here snapped. So, if I go to the object snap icon, I click with the right button, and I will activate also the option quadrant. With this, I will be able to snap these points here. Then, I will hold this one in the right, I drag the mouse pointer up, and when I see the extension line, I type 200. So, this was to enter the first point of the rectangle, and then I just need to insert the coordinates of the opposite corner. For the x-axis will be minus 150, and for the y-axis is also negative, minus 400. After this, I need to round the corners. I'm going to activate the command fillet by clicking here. Now, because I want to convert all the corners in one time, it's easier if I type now P for polyline. Then, before clicking in the rectangle, it's better to check the radius. I type R, and you can see that the current radius is 50, is exactly what I want, so I press enter. Finally, to apply fillet, just click in the rectangle. Now, I'm going to use the command arc and choose the option 3-point. As you imagine, with this option I insert an arc by choosing 3 points. Now, the first point will be the intersection with this arc, around here, but it's getting hard to move the pointer. But I can solve this easy by switching off the snap mode. Look, I can move now without any problem. But I'm going to teach you a new tip. If I want my first point exactly on the intersection of the arc, I click with the right button in the object snap icon and then click on nearest. So when this mode is highlighted, the next point we start exactly from the intersection. The second point I will click more or less here, and the third I will use again the nearest. I click for example here. Then to do the same in the other side, the best is to use the command mirror. I type MI, press enter. I select in the arc I just created, press enter. Then I draw a horizontal mirror line from the middle point here. I don't want to erase the original line, so I press enter. After this part, I need another ellipse inside here. It's very easy with the command offset. I type O and press enter. Then the distance between the two ellipses is 50, so I can press enter again. I click on the first one and then I click inside of it. Now I need the command trim to delete these parts there. I click in the proper icon. I select everything and click in the parts I want to erase. So I click in everything inside the rectangle and also these sections here and there. When I finish, I press enter. Now, if you look to the final drawing, I need a line here, so it's easy. I will activate the command line. Then I go to this midpoint, drag slowly the pointer left, and then type 50 in order to draw the line at that distance from the rectangle. So the second point, I can place it somewhere here. I press escape. Then I click on the line. I click on this blue square and I can extend the line till the intersection with the ellipse. Then I click on the blue square in the other side and I can shorten the line to this place. After, I can use the command trim again to delete these sections. I select these objects, press enter, and delete these arc segments. So it's almost finished, and I only need this circle in the middle. To do it, I will draw first a line from this midpoint till the other side of the rectangle. Then I will use the command circle. I go to the midpoint of the line, I click on it, and I'm going to draw a circle with a radius of 25 because the diameter is 50. Finally, I can delete the line I just created and the toilet is finished. In the last part of this video, I am going to show you how to draw this wash basin. So, on the first step, I will draw the shape of the sink and I'm going to use the command ellipse. It's very easy. I'm going to click in this arrow next to the icon of the command ellipse and now I click on center. First, I click where I want to insert the center of the ellipse and then I have to type the distances of the semi-major and semi-minor axes. Then I decided to insert first the horizontal one, which is 200, and then I drag my pointer vertically from the center, type 250 and press enter. So the first ellipse is done. The second one, it's very easy with the command offset. I type O and press enter. I have to specify the distance between both ellipses, which is 30. Press enter. I click in the object and now inside of it. I can press escape when I finish. Okay, after this, I'm going to draw this exterior circle of the top here. But first, I want to make sure that I'm using the mode quadrant from the object snap. It is going to be very useful here. Okay, so I'm going to activate the command circle. Then I will snap this quadrant on the left, drag the pointer to this side, and then I can type the distance from the quadrant to the center of the circle, which is 60. Then I have to specify its radius. I type 40 and press enter. Now the inner circles. I will do the same process as for the ellipse. I will type O to activate the command offset, or alternatively, clicking the icon over there. The distance between the first two circles is 15. I click on the object and then inside. Right next, I click on the second circle and inside of it. On the next step, I'm going to draw this handle. So, how I will do it? It's simple. I know this distance of 120 here, and also I have this vertical one. So, what I can do is to draw first a horizontal line from this quadrant. I will activate the command line. I place the pointer in this quadrant, I drag it right, and put the second point anywhere. It just needs to be horizontal. Then I can offset the line to a distance of 15 above of it. Click on the line and place it. Then pay attention of this process. I'm going to select the line. I'm going to the first extremity, click on the blue square to extend the line till the intersection with the circle. But now there is a small problem because it's constantly snapping to the nearest, and it will be hard to keep the line horizontal. So it's better to switch off the snap mode. I go here and click on nearest to deactivate it. So I try again to extend the line, and when I see the icon intersection, I can click. After this, I go to the other extremity, I click, and I want to make the line 120. But if I type a number right now, I will add or subtract the value from the current dimension. However, if I press the button Tab, I can insert a new distance for the line. So I can now type 120. Then it's easy. I can copy the line to the other side by using the command mirror. I select the line, press enter, and for the mirror line, I will use the line I draw as a reference. Finally, I can draw an arc. I click here and select Start, Center, End. First point can be this extremity, then the center is the intersection with this line, and the end point, this one here. Okay, now as you see the tab is done, I can just delete this line that I don't need it. On the next step, I'm going to draw this part, and for that I will show you a new command. First, we can simply use the command copy to put another external circle above. I click in the circle, then for the base point I choose the center, I drag it up vertically and type the distance, which is 120. Then I press escape and I can offset the object I just created, but this time the first internal circle will be at a distance of 10. I click there and I place it here. Then I click in the second, and for the next one, change the distance to 15. Now it's important. I need these 4 things around this circle, but first I will draw just one of them. I am going to draw, for example, the circle on the right. I know its center is exactly in this quadrant. I click on it, and type the radius of 8. Then the two lines that connect both circles, I will do as I did before. First, I connect a line between both quadrants. Then I use offset. I type 5, which is half of the distance between both lines. Then I can press enter. To extend it to both circles, I will show you another way with the command extend. I select my reference objects, which are both circles. I press enter, and then I click twice in the line to extend it to both objects. Now, the line below, I let you draw by yourself. Just try to remember two commands that I taught in this tutorial that you can use here. Okay, to display 4 of these around the circle, it's very simple with the command polar array. I will go to this icon here, click in the arrow, and now select polar array. I will select the circle and the two lines, press enter, and click in the center of the circle to have these objects displayed around. So here you have 6 of them. Instead, I only want 4. So I go here to this space and I can change the number of items to 4. Perfect. I press enter and I will use the command trim. Select everything, press enter, and click to trim the parts inside the circles. Oh, I have to do it also for the handle because I forgot it. I activate trim, select all these, and then select these 3 parts. Now it's done. The sink is almost finished. I only need to use mirror to these objects and make a horizontal reference line from the center of the circle. Now, the last part of this video, I will draw just this rectangle here. The second sink, try to do it by yourself with only one step. And if you still don't get it, you can ask in the comments section. So, for the rectangle, I will draw first an auxiliary line from this quadrant here, and the distance will be the spacement between the sink and the edge of the rectangle. Then I press escape and I will copy this line to the other side. Choose the endpoint on the button as my base point, and then I place the second line clicking in this quadrant at the other side. Finally, I'm going to draw a rectangle. I type REC, put the pointer over the endpoint of this line without clicking, drag it to the left, and when I see the extension line, I type half of the dimension of the edge, 350. And the second corner of the rectangle, I will hover the endpoint of this line, drag it right, and type again half of the edge distance. Don't forget to delete these 2 lines at the end, and also to draw these small 2 circles in the center of the ellipse. So it's everything in this video, and if you want to learn how to insert this kind of furniture in a floor plan, just click on the first video that appears on the left. Also, if you need more help, I can give online lessons for beginners. Just click in the channel icon and you will find all the information in the section about. So thank you very much and see you next time.